Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Another great weekend of sports. Pujols is now a member of the Dodgers. How about that? And a ton of other stuff. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Thank you very much for hanging out with us for a little bit as we recap the weekend that was in Major League Baseball. It's Talkin' Baseball brought to you by DraftKings. My name is Jimmy. I have Jake right next to me. We got Trevor in California. BBD sitting in the corner producing. And this episode, let's see, what patrons do we got? We got Daniel O'Connor, Carlos Avila, and Megan Brown, our most recent patrons. We appreciate you. Thank you guys very much. Got some good stuff to talk about. A little AL recap, a little NL recap, a little Interleague recap, standout performances, awards, slump watch, and Fuego, the works. Jake, how are you? How was your weekend?
James, Trevor, Big Baby David, everybody live in the chat. Weekend was good, man. New York City got some good weather this weekend. Had spent a nice walk / early afternoon at Central Park. Yeah, watched some Yankees baseball, watched some baseball around the Liga. Shocked to see Pujols sign with an NL contender. Who could have seen that coming? But I'm generally well. Trevor, Drew Bugan, ribbies. How are you?
My God, it was a full weekend for me. We had our last coach pitch game. James Loney and I got asked to manage the All-Star game. Wait, no, we didn't. Some other dad is the manager of the All-Star team. Who makes these decisions? 20 years MLB experience combined, or like a dad?
Maybe they're like, did Trevor an All-Star? And they went to your page, and they're like, nope.
Oh.
That's a good point, Jim. It's a good point. I was never an All-Star.
Whoa.
That's a good point right there. That's a low blow. It hurts, but it's okay. I'm still in a good mood.
Early.
I'm still in a good mood.
Damn.
Bad coming out of my mouth.
Ooh.
I thought it was going to be more of a joke.
Jeez.
I didn't like it at all.
It's fine. I actually answered that with a Twitter post. I said most days I feel like I wasn't even that good. So I'm on your side on this one.
Second deck, Trev. Yankee Stadium.
Thank you.
Protecting Joe Mauer.
I wore these ridiculous headphones because I don't want RoboTrev to come out today, so that's an improvement by me. All things considered, Jim and Jake and BBD, I'm doing great today, and I'm excited to talk about an amazing weekend of baseball.
We're getting into the midst of the season. Like, we're getting into someone said it's early, and I was like, we're getting pretty close to you not being able to say that anymore. But it was a player I heard in an interview. I think it was Jay Flair, or maybe it was Snell on Mic'd Up on Sunday Baseball. Like, it's still early. And I was like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know how. I think we're a week away from you can't say that anymore. Once June comes, it's not early.
I think it's June. There was a couple series results that happened over this weekend, and then you look at the team's record, and you're like, okay, it is still kind of early. A sweep either direction can still be like, oh, this team's three below 500. They kind of stink, huh? And then they sweep and they're 500, and you're like, okay, well, playoffs started today. They're in it. So there's still a little bit of that going on, but no, team identities are formed, A
little bit, yeah.
It's only we're a quarter of the way done. So if you're thinking about like a horse race at the quarter turn, whatever, like, it's still early. In my opinion, there's a lot of baseball left to be played. So I don't disagree with whoever it was, Snell or Jay Flair. I think it is.
I'll give it one more week when we're sitting back here, maybe a week and a half. But we're close to it being in the middle of the season. June, July.
I like the All-Star break, to be honest with you. I know that's a long time away, but there's so much baseball left.
But a team can lose the season before the All-Star break. Minnesota.
James, there's 120 games left.
Know when the season starts? June 4th, Yankees, Red Sox play for the first time.
Oh, my God.
I'll be in California.
These are the only two teams I want to see. I'm good at being old and dying sometimes.
Sometimes. Other times, you're young and vibrant. Nice shirt.
Thank you.
All right, BBD, how are you?
I'm well. I mean, but when the season's, I don't know, by June, the team's got to start deciding what they want to add at the deadline and stuff.
Exactly.
Once
Once the trade deadline process
Identities
comes in,
and
you got to decide. For a lot of teams, the season ends July 29th
So we got
because they
one,
decide to trade instead of going for it.
I know, but it's May 17th, you guys.
four,
Like,
5.
there's still some time.
So yeah, I mean, there's 4 to 5 series before June 1. So you can still right your ship or wrong your ship for the most part.
I'm not, by saying
Until
it's not
June.
early anymore, Trev, doesn't mean your fate's sealed. I'm just saying, like, you didn't have a rough
That's for the
start
Twins.
anymore. You're having a rough season at this point.
It's getting late early.
It's getting late early. I like that one, Jake.
Nice.
Yeah. It's Jake Yogi Berra.
It is right there. Zendino the Great. You're a
Always the
stud.
great.
He's the best. All right, let's get right into it. Let's go to the National League recap. Jake has the National League today. It's brought to you by Cushy Dreams, our favorite. Man, smokable CBD, high quality smokable CBD. It's been shown to help with anxiety, depression, inflammation, even pain relief, and more. Smoking CBD gets into your system right away, so you don't have to wait around for the effects. Cushy Dreams has extraordinary CBD-rich hemp flower. It comes in 1/8 ounce cans and pre-rolled joints. It's cannabis that ships discreetly to you and directly at all 50 states. They offer indica and sativa strains. They got relax, create, hustle, peace, energy. Their popular pre-rolled joints are rolled in an organic hemp paper and feature an even slow burn. Real funny clip of Jake in the weekly behind-the-scenes office vlog that's on the JOMBOY and Jake TV YouTube channel of him. What do you say? He's got the pre-roll joint in his mouth. Me? I'm cooling, man.
Cooling.
It's really funny. So go to cushydreams.com, K-U-S-H-Y dreams.com. At checkout, use promo code BASEBALL for 20% off your next order. Smoke your CBD with promo code BASEBALL for 20% off your next order. And Jake, can you let everyone know, including myself, what happened in the National League?
Men in the National League. I'm out cooling, just being cool. That's from an old Bernie Mac stand-up. Los Hibido Gigantes, the Giants. Last I saw you guys, I was giving them an award. I believe roses smell like poo, poo, poo. They split 4 with the Pirates. They got walked off on twice, feeling the effect of the Jake sucks theory. They win the bookends, 3-1 and 4-1. DeScalfani and Wood. Alex Wood, how about 5-0 on the year? Good for him. And Yaz homered in that last game. They split 4. The Brewers and the Braves. The Braves, they win the first 2. Are they getting it going? Are they getting it going? We keep waiting. Ronnie's hurt. He pinch hits in the last game. An absolute spit show of a game. 10-9 Brewers. Wandy Peralta was 6 shutty. The Pen gave up a 7 spot in the 7th. Chaos. That finishes 10-9 final. Braves still win the series. They gotta keep doing more of that. Speaking of an ugly fest, Rockies and the Reds. Reds went into Colorado. They split 4, man. Rockies won the first 2. Reds won the second 2. The last game, the Reds won because of a pass ball in the 9th and a wild pitch in Buenos Canto. So it's just like, guys, this is a bad brand of baseball. Castellanos is hit, and that's what he does. So I like that. Nationals and my D-backs get roughed up in the first game. They lose 17-2. Freight Train David Peralta takes the bump, though, gets a punchy. So that's basically a win. D-backs win the middle game. Nats take the last one. Eric Fettiwap with the big start for them. 7 shutty. The Jake D-backs effect sucks ass crabs and Carson Kelly to the 10-day IL. Padres sweep the Cardinals. Hello. There's one that'll jump out and grab you by the balls. Sunday Night Baseball, we saw that last night. 5-3, good mic'd up. Jay Flair and Snell are guys. Musgrove, Paddock, Padres, man. Holy smokes, Austin Nola's back doing it. I like that guy. I like him a lot. Paul DeJong to the IL. Sorry about it. And then the Marlins and the Dodgers. Dodgers take 2 out of 3. The first 2, in fact, Bauer was nasty. Kershaw won the first game, or didn't get the dub, excuse me. Marlins take the last one. Adam Duvall, 3-run homer, and he threw out Mookie Betts at the plate in that one. Dodgers feeling the injury bug. Max Muncy getting hot. That's what's happening in the National League.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. You like Austin Nola? I thought you didn't like Austin Nola.
C'est quoi?
I don't know.
I don't know where you got that from. No, I think I
thought
said
you,
I like him a lot.
I thought you were.
I
thought when they traded,
list.
you were shocked because he doesn't actually like have a lot of years being a good catcher and he's old.
No, I think I liked him because he was amongst catchers. What he was doing is really good, and they get him for a long time.
Oh,
Like he's cheap.
I don't know where I got it from. Maybe
Okay.
Trev hates him. We'll just put it on
Wow.
Trev.
I don't hate him.
Okay.
Maybe it was you.
No, I like catchers.
Maybe it was a dark thought.
hard to find a catcher I don't like
isn't
out
that
there.
Aaron Nola's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted
Well, I
him
like
to
him.
get traded to Philly. I think they need the brother battery. But they got Real Muto instead.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mets get swept. That's on me.
That's
They're
on
leading
you.
the division. I was just doing the division leaders. Central, Cards, and Giants stay in first place in the West.
That's all they know.
But the Dodgers got the big man coming their way. They pick up Pujols, who cleared waivers, so they get him for what, the minimum?
Yeah,
Get him for the minimum.
420K, something like that, prorated for the
Ooh-wee.
rest of the year.
Cushy dreams.
Yeah.
Surprised a lot of
Sounds-
people besides Jake.
Well, I mean, listen. What happened with Albert was he gets designated, clears waivers. Obviously, he's owed $1 zillion this year. So once he clears waivers, he's open to talk to all the teams. The word out of his camp was that he wanted to be an everyday player. Turns out he just wanted to be out of LA Angels.
Trev.
Like he didn't want to sit on the bench for a team that's going to stink all year. He would be willing to sit on the bench and come off and help a team that has a chance to win a World Series. So this is completely on the Angels. Pujols probably realized, look, the only teams I'll get to go play every day are the Baltimore Orioles, like Trevor said, because I was definitely right also. But that was just not
Completely
going to
wrong.
happen. Signs with the Dodgers. And look, he's a better option than anything that they have on the bench right now. I'm excited for him.
I compared it to Sandoval at first, and I think there might be a step above that because there is playing time to be had with these Dodgers right now, especially versus lefties. But yeah, Trev, I mean, that's where, I mean, you and Rosie poo-pooed me, ugly, short, all the insults came out, and it was, yeah, Albert Pujols wants to be an everyday starting MLB player. So do I. But I fucking suck at baseball.
If you can ever compare yourself to Albert Pujols again,
We
on
have the
baseball
same
field, I'm leaving this
swing.
freaking
Yeah,
show.
wait,
We
time
have
out.
the same swing.
Me and Albert both breathe there.
Listen,
The Angels stink. The Angels are bad. The Angels are last place again.
the Angels stink.
Here
The
we
Angels
go.
Stink.
So Albert Pujols, no, he didn't want to sit on the bench. Oh, Rangers jumped them for last place, excuse me. But there's room for him. I love this. He can get a start versus a lefty pitcher and get 2 at-bats, and then if you want to sub him out, what the Dodgers should be able to do with the amount of bodies that they have going through right now, sure. Or if you just give him the pinch hit at bat, this whole 3 batters rule, if you still get Albert, that good matchup, runners on base versus a lefty pitcher, his last full year in 2019, he had an 830 OPS. That was like a full season versus lefties. So I'm happy for him. I think it's a good fit. I hope he finds himself in a big situation, and if they put him in the right spot to succeed, I think he will.
Does he stay? Is he on the Dodgers roster the entire year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you heard Buster only talk on Sunday Night Baseball, he was like, yeah, this is, in a way, the Dodgers also picked up Tsutsugo, right?
Yeah.
This is like Buster was like, Dodgers don't have as much depth as everyone said they did. They,
No, they do. They're just all hurt.
well, I know
There are,
that,
like,
but
13 dudes on the IL.
well, that's when the depth's supposed to come into play. But
13.
don't fucking, I mean, the Yankees had 30 last year, so I don't care about 13.
Okay. The Dodgers have just better depth than the Yankees.
Yeah, but the Dodgers infield now with Seager out, but that doesn't come into Albert at all. I mean, Muncy's there. Gavin Lux is supposed to be the second baseman. He's not there. Noisy's been playing. I mean, Turner's there. But it's Muncy can go play second base when a lefty's pitching. Albert can play first base. And, they've been rotating Noisy, McKinstry, Lux playing second versus lefties. And none of those guys really have been doing anything, especially against lefties. So, the rotation's there when you really think about it. At first, you're like, where's he going to play? And then you're like, oh, well, okay, it makes sense. And then I love what Jake said. In big moments, just pinch hit Albert versus a lefty, and that becomes an event. That becomes the Panda effect.
That's what Sandoval's been, and that's where I was saying. So, Trev, you mentioned they are feeling the injury bug, and it's a real one, man. It's kind of it's been buried when they were losing, and we're like, oh, what's going on? I mean, Cody Bellinger pretty much been out all season. Dude won an MVP. It's in his back. He's got that. AJ Pollock hurt you, and I'll hold that against him forever, but he's a good ball player, and he's hurt. Edwin Rios, a guy that everyone was pissed that he wasn't going to be starting, he's out. Torn labrum. Now with Seager, that's the new one. Also, they're pitching, man.
I know, but none of them are infielders. So it's not the Pujols thing.
Yeah, I mean, they've got guys that move around. I mean, Cody Bellinger can play a really good first base, and they've done that in the past. Either way, it's this roster, and if all those guys come back, you know what? There's still a spot for Albert. Right now, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on their bench. What does that look like in the playoffs? Do they have 5? Do they have 6? If Albert Pujols is your lefty masher, there's room for that guy. I mean, the Braves have had room for Sandoval, and he kind of didn't have a position. The position was just pinch hitter, and he's doing it beautifully. So, yeah, Albert's going to be on this team, and I think, we've seen how switchy the Dodgers get. It was actually kind of what got them in trouble in the World Series against the Red Sox. Because, remember, everyone was like, hey, stop messing with your lineup. Put a couple of those lefty bats up there. They didn't. Albert, give him a start against lefties. With today's starting pitcher, that's 2 at-bats, and then you pinch hit whoever you want for him. Or, if they start the righty and they bring a lefty out of the pen, there's the machine waiting for you, who against lefties, you can't do the career numbers because all of his career numbers are insane. But even in recent years, even this year, it's, very small portion, but he still hits lefties. It's fun, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that the Dodgers might have been the only team to be able to get Albert on this bench role deal, not only because they're a World Series contender, but also because Albert doesn't have to pick up and move everything, dude. That's a big deal during the season. I know it can be done and it happens all the time, but the dude's entrenched. I mean, he's probably going to just stay in his house wherever he's at in the Orange County somewhere and just commute. Maybe he'll do what Kobe used to do and oh man, this sounds terrible, but Kobe used to take a helicopter, every day from his house in Orange County to a hotel in LA and fly back. So maybe Albert does that. Maybe just has a car service. I don't know. But I think that's also a big deal with this is the location change doesn't have to happen. So I'm happy for him, man. I think he gets everything he wanted to get besides the everyday playing time. I think he's going to get enough playing time to kind of feed whatever he needs.
Is he there? Is he in uniform?
They haven't done the official Pujols presser yet, I don't believe.
I think today they said they were going to make it.
Because I think it's in an hour, or maybe it's 1:30 LA time.
They face Bumgarner tonight. Start him right away.
Come up.
Lefty.
Yeah, Mad Bum versus Bueller. That's a little fun tonight, late night. Get your nap in and get your cushy dreams going. Trev, how much genuinely, I mean, a guy like Albert, who's got, he got the bag. He got a couple bags. I mean, let's say, I'll just throw this out there as an example. Let's say the Braves came to him and they said, hey, we're actually going to use you. We want to get Freddie off his feet. I know this is a fake example and it's not real, but how much would that truly weigh in the moving stuff? When you're someone like Albert, to move somewhere for 4 months for Albert Pujols, I mean, the money ain't a problem. Is it just literally leaving your life? I don't know.
It comes into play, dude. It's not if you don't have the choice, I got shipped off from the A's to Tampa. I didn't have a choice, dude. I need to go play. I still needed to make my money and do all these things and try to, further my career. But when you're Albert, everything is up to you at this point. He can decide where he wants to go and if he wants to do it or not. So, I mean, it does weigh in. He has a family. He's a big family type guy. So, his kids probably are in school out here. You have to think about that. moving your family, if he's just going to go solo. It's a lot of it comes into play, to answer your question.
Okay.
So I think LA was like the perfect destination for him. The Dodgers, obviously.
Do you think other teams put in a bid, and because the Dodgers are sliding right now, they're lower on the waiver wire, and they were able to get him? Like, are they?
He
It wasn't a
through
waiver
waivers.
wire thing.
Oh, he went through
'Cause they would've
waivers,
had
and then
to take on his contract, so he was in control.
I wonder how many other teams are
people reaching out.
Yeah, because you kind of need the space.
I'll just say this, and this was kind of my argument from the start, is that NL benches, they carry usually another body than AL teams. And, even some of those NL Central teams, like if you look at the last man on the bench, which I think if the Dodgers get healthy, that's kind of where Albert will be. The last guy on the bench or the guy before the last guy on the bench. Like, you can click around some of these teams. Like the Brewers bench right now is Pablo Reyes, Billy McKinney, and Tyrone Taylor. Like I think you guys would be surprised if you really look at the depths of the bench, even on good teams in the National League. A lefty mash in Albert Pujols, throwing the arm over the shoulder, some guys, and getting a couple at bats. I think there was a hole for him. So I hope he shoves it, man. I hope
Not being able to run does hurt.
Angel fans just start punching dirt.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say on this is like people are all Angel fans like, get ready for him to hit a bunch of ground balls at third base, dude. And it's like, okay, he didn't like playing for the Angels. Like this is one of those things. It's a change of scenery type thing. He's going to go to the Dodgers and he's going to be fired up because this team just won a World Series. Like they're going to be in the playoffs this year. How old is he? Like 40 zillion years old? He's really
41.
old.
Angels fans have every right to be upset with what Albert Pujols did for them for over a decade, and for their ownership to be spending that much money. The dude
I don't know,
sucked,
man.
Trev. He's
I
like
don't
got
know,
40 WAR on the Cardinals and I think 8 on the Angels. Those aren't the exact numbers.
It's not his fault that they gave him 10 years.
No, of course
over
he can
30.
accept the money, but Angels fans can be mad at
Angels
him
fans
and
need to
can be
be mad
mad
at
at
their
the
front
ownership.
office.
But Angels fans have every right to be upset over the 10 years of Pujols. The only thing that the ownership likes.
I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that at all. And I think this is going to.
You got to think of
a guy that
fan,
old needs this.
As a fan, Trev, come on.
Come on, dude. What do you if you're a fan, Jim? What do you expect from a 38, 39, 40-year-old dude?
Well, to produce.
What do you expect?
I mean, he didn't have any good years, Trev.
Okay, look, he wasn't the reason they didn't go to the playoffs.
No.
He's going to get energized by this, going to LA. I'm not saying he's going to be a banger again like he was in St. Louis, but for them to be like, oh, get ready for all these ground balls. Like, dude, I hope he comes up and has some big hits for them. I'm rooting for Albert big time.
I'm not saying I'm not, but if I'm an Angels fan, that's a bad contract and a bad performance for a guy taking on that much money. They have every right to be upset.
At the front office?
At the front office. I want to be mad at Pujols. He got old.
He was trying. It's not like he was lollygagging anything.
Yeah.
The guy put everything on the line.
Yeah, but I mean, that gets
Every
blinded
day.
when you're a fan because eventually you're just like, get him out of here.
We're better fans than that. That's what we're trying to do for the people.
I feel bad for Angels fans. I mean, that's disappointing. I think that the ownership still loved it because they turned around and said, we got Pujols, and then they turned it into a huge TV deal, which actually they made money on the contract.
Oh, yeah.
The money side of it, but I'm expecting one magical week or a one magical pinch hit home run from Pujols, and then the rest is kind of just he's there as a Dodger.
Find that lane. Bring out the lefty. Bring out Albert.
Padres sweep, good for them.
Against the Cards, who we're all excited about.
Yeah, Kim gets his first bad start for the Cardinals. And let's see, the Padres now, they're still in second place, but they have a better record than the Cardinals now. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll talk about it a little bit in the AL, and kind of like we were saying, when the when does the season start argument to start the show. Little teaser, the AL East starting to look a lot better. For a while, it was like all these teams, what's going on with Tampa, what's going on with the Yankees. The cream's starting to rise a little bit. Padres, big series for them. NL East, God. So sloppy.
Yeah, he's supposed to come back today and throw like a little side session. That's big news for the Mets fans. I don't think it's come out yet, the results of that, but if he does feel okay, he's got to start against the Braves. It's a big series coming up.
Like that.
That's so sloppy. The Nats are in last place and they're only 3 games out. Tell you there. We're very early into East Division in the NL.
Yeah.
Like that might not get settled forever.
God.
That's wild. Last place in every other division is the Central. Pirates are only 5.5. But the NL East, 3 games separates last and first place. That's wild.
Sloppy jalopy.
Let's go to the American League. Trev, you are going to let us know what happened. I am excited to find out. On your mark, get set, and go!
We'll start with my Twinkies. Oakland goes into Minnesota, and they take 2 out of 3. The Twins tried to muster up some wins. In Game 2, Sano hits the go-ahead homer. They get the win 5-4, and then Game 3, the rubber match. Simmons, 2-run homer to tie in the bottom of the 8th, and the Twins make a few errors, and they give up the go-ahead run on a wild pitch. Just an absolutely deflating series for them, and man, it is worrisome in Minnesota. A's take 2 out of 3. Moving on to Boston, the Angels go and visit the Red Sox. The Sox take 2 out of 3. They just keep winning. Jake texted me and said our guy Butera had 2 RBIs in Game 3, and he muscled that ball out there right off the fist. Cool thing about this series, Ohtani with the go-ahead home run in the 9th inning off Barnes. What's that pole called? The pesky pole?
Mm-hmm.
Hits one down there to salvage the series. Angels only take 1. Sox take 2 out of 3. Moving on to Baltimore, your guys Yanks went in and took 2 out of 3. 5-4 Game 1, 8-2 Game 2, and then it looked like they were going for the sweep. Gary homers, Clint homers in the first inning off my guy Adam Plutko, the opener for the Orioles. Then all the wheels fall off. Montgomery gives up some runs, and they end up losing 10-6. They take 2 out of 3. In Game 3, interesting stat. Every hitter for the O's in Game 3 had a hit except for my good friend Pat Valleca, who I watched Mortal Kombat at his house. And I'm going to say that story every time I see his name. Let's move on to the Houston Astros hosting the Rangers. The Astros, they're on a roll right now. They're doing it. 4-game sweep of the Rangers. 4-3-11 the first game, 10-4, 6-5, and then in Game 4, 6-2. That one was McCullers versus Gibson. Gibby, our guy, still going strong. 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, but McCullers matches them, goes 6 shutty. Dahl tied it in the 7th, but the Stros answered back for 4 in the 8th to win. They are on fire. Go do it. Moving on to Chicago, the Royals going in to play the White Sox. They split the series 2-2. Royals win the first one 6-2. From Game 1 of a doubleheader. 3-1, the White Sox win Game 2 with Kopech on the mound. Royals take Game 3 5-1, and then yesterday was a banger of a game. The White Sox win it 4-3. There was a controversial play at the plate to end it. Abreu avoided a tag, or does he? The umpires say he did. The call on the field stands. Interesting stat on Game 4, 17 hits in the game. Only 2 for extra bases. That seems like a lot right there. They split the series 2-2. The White Sox are still looking like a really good baseball team. And to end the things off in the AL, the Mariners host the Indians, and they go and take 3 out of 4. Game 1, the Indians take because Plesac almost threw a no-hitter. They went 4-2, and then it was all Mariners from there. 7-3 Mariners, 7-3 Mariners again in Game 3, and then 3-2 Mariners. Bieber versus Duggar in Game 4. Bieber maybe had the worst start of the year, 4 2/3 innings pitched. Only 3 earned runs, but 4 walks. You just don't see it too much. And the Mariners in that game only had one hit after the 4th inning. But who cares? That's all they needed. They take 3 out of 4 and get the series win. And that is what happened in the AL.
Mariners taking 3 out of 4. How about that? Royals and White Sox splitting when the Royals were on such a bad little skid there, and the White Sox look so great. So good for the Royals. Split versus the White Sox. Probably a little bit of a win for them. Astros are the hottest team in baseball. They 4-game sweep the Rangers, who are the coldest team in baseball. Astros have the biggest win streak at 6. Rangers have the biggest losing streak at 6. A lot had to do with that 4-game matchup. But Astros are playing good baseball right now. They're 8-10 in their last 10, 8-2 in their last 10, 18-12 in their last 30. They're looking pretty good. Climbing on up to only half game behind the A's, and they're tied in the loss column. So, right there.
Did you guys see the Abreu slide?
Yeah, I just did a whole breakdown on it.
Okay. What I didn't watch the breakdown. What was your conclusion there?
Safe. Good call by Blue.
There was one angle where it looks like he touched the jersey, but then there was an alternate angle where
there's another angle. I always take both broadcasts because both broadcasts have different angles, which is kind of crazy because like one fan base just gets kind of brainwashed by whatever they show, and the other broadcast has better replays. And then the MLB has their own replays as well. But there's a replay that came at the very end that shows the behind view, which is kind of what you needed because there was a blind spot on every replay they showed forever. There's a blind spot where the glove, like, whoa, he could have touched him right there, but we don't know. And then they finally showed one from behind Abreu, and it's not like 100% definitive. But if I was to watch those without any knowledge of what the umpire called, I would say safe.
And that's what needs to be done. I hate that the call in the field is told to the umpires in New York. Because someone made a really good point. The umpires on the field and the umpires in New York know how these guys feel. Everyone was off the field already. Do you really want to bring the White Sox back out on the field in front of their home crowd? They don't want that to happen. So, the call in the field definitely had something to do with it. I wish they didn't know the call in the field.
It was so funny because I made fun of it in the breakdown because the Royals coach gets on the phone like, hey, should we replay this? And it's like, yeah, man, you have a challenge left, and if you don't, the game's over. Why are you asking your replay department? Just fucking say it. But yeah, it was it's a crazy inning because there was an out at the plate right before that. Merrifield gunned down Machado, and then it was just like a little pass ball wild pitch. It just skirted away from the catcher like tiny bit, and Abreu takes off. And his celebration was wild. He partied in the dugout. So.
Abreu's the man. He had the collision earlier on that series or the game before that series, and he came back. Not a ton of tough guys floating around baseball these days now that Plouffi's out of the game. But, yeah, the crowd gave him a standing ovation. The fact that he came back and he was playing and then he ends up scoring on that one. And, yeah, that's – hey, let's get more cameras and angles. And maybe every stadium has, the same angle. So, in the NFL you have the pylon cameras and you have the same shot. So it helps make reviews easier. Instead of every broadcast does their own thing. Some of them have standard definition cameras. Some of them, yes, crew rolls around with really, really good cameras everywhere. So I don't know. That's next CBA. We'll have an off season to talk about that.
We're just making public because they do have cameras that the replay room has that the broadcast don't have in-house cameras. So they're really bad. Like Fenway, there's not a lot of camera wells. If you ever watch a game at Fenway, the amount of cameras that they use it's significantly lower because they just don't have the room for cameras. So the coverage behind third or the angle we kind of needed from Abreu, but yeah.
Put a camera on the monster.
Let's get nice cameras. Right now it's up to the, like you said, a lot of the public ones are at least up to how much they spent. Like the A's replays are in SD. And one time there was a play where the A's fans thought it was this, and then it was like, well, but here's the other camera, which is HD and good, and it's clear as day, not that. So it's a real weird wrinkle in MLB right now that your broadcast team can win you challenges because you have better angles.
Strategy.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the C Rose IG Live. It's funny. He's like, who do we need in the replay booths in New York? Should we not have current umpires? Should we have retired umpires? And I told him it doesn't. You can have anyone in there. Anybody can do that job. every team's replay guy is just like a guy. It's not like somebody that's like studied video analysis or anything. It's just a normal guy who they pegged to be the replay guy this year.
I think the Dodgers is the chop, like just some like ex-college player or something like that.
I'm in.
It's interesting, man. It really is.
The Astros, Jim, you mentioned how they are looking hot. I like the Fangraphs power rankings. I referenced them a couple times on the program. If you want to go check them out, they're right there on the Fangraphs roster resource page. It says over the season, the Astros have 7 guys in their lineup who are top 81 baseball players. Obviously a weird number to fit one more guy in, but that's fine. Over the last 7 days, over the last week, they have 5 guys who are top 36 hitters in baseball. So, I mean, that offense is clicking. And, man, you know, every night they get an effort from a pitcher that's going to give them a chance, and that's a good formula.
Yeah.
When you watch them, you're like, I just feel like they're a team that's always like they're just not. They don't slump and they just don't go into these big ruts. Like every night, you're like, this team could beat anybody. And I don't think you can say that about every team in the big leagues. You can say that about maybe 3 or 4 other teams.
Well,
in the big
hitting's
leagues.
been so down across baseball that I feel like every team has their 3 guys that it's like, hey, let's get a runner or 2 on, and you know this is our chance. And then you look at a lot of bottom of the lineups, and you see a lot of interstate batting averages. These Astros, man, I mean, they've got 2 cores. I mean, Altuve, Brantley, Bregman, and then you go Alvarez, Gurriel, Correa, Tucker. Like, that's a tough lineup to navigate 3-4 times.
Altuve, Tucker, Bregman, Alvarez, and Maldonado.
LD.
Well, let's throw Gurriel in there as well. I mean, well, no, Maldonado, the lowest on OBP in the last 12 games is 371. Like you're saying, it's not just 3 guys that are hot. Like they got a lot.
Team.
It's not even counting. Well, Correa's been struggling a little bit, but yeah, they've been looking really good. So good job by them.
And then we don't even talk about the A's. The A's are better than them.
We'll see, Trev, because right now they're tied in the loss column and they play each other in a 3-game set in Oakland. So the standings may be flipping very soon. If you're the Astros fan, this is your chance right here.
They've owned the A's too, right? Like in
Or if you're the A's, the other side of this, you got slapped to start this year. You got slapped in the playoffs. You know, if you want to celebrate, you got hot, you got out of that rut. Like, hey, this is your chance. 3 at home with Houston.
They've traded series. So it was a 4-game sweep, and then the A's won the second series, but only 2 out of 3. So it's a fun series coming up. I don't know what the probables are. I'm interested in that, so I'm going to Google it.
Google it.
But yeah,
and that's going to be a really fun one to watch.
I agree. Looks like we got Javier versus Manea, Greinke versus Montes, and Luis Garcia versus Cole Irvin.
Swervin'
been doing it too, my God. I think he has. I went on his Baseball Savant page, and he is dead last for spin on his fastball. Like he has a 0.
It's good
on his page, I believe. I just love that. I love like the counter. You know, like I think we talked about this last time. He put out an article about how teams are going to start bunting and stealing bases again because it's now started to add runs because of the percentage that teams have been successful at these things. So it's like they went so far the other way that now it's advantageous to do regular baseball again. And I think that's hilarious. So
regular
go swerving
baseball.
The White Sox are the real deal still. If you look at I love looking at the Baseball Reference page that breaks down the standings. White Sox have a winning record in every category. They have a winning record at home, a winning record on the road, a winning record in 1-run games, a winning record versus right-hand pitchers versus left-hand pitchers versus teams over 500 versus teams under 500, last 10, last 20, last 30. The only thing they have, they're 0-3 in extra inning games. And they're, according to the Pythagorean theorem, they're unlucky. Their record should actually be 26-13, not 24-15. So when you look at all that stuff, they're like the one team that's like, oh, they're the real deal right now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They are the real deal.
Red Sox stay in first place. They beat the Angels. Fun series. A lot of weird stuff happening there.
So close to the sweep. Shohei. 2 outs. Trout single. Ohtani. Pujols one. It was a monster. I haven't looked up the analytics because, I mean, it goes around pesky pole. He did catch it clean, but it's one of those, like, how many stadiums would that have gone foul at stadiums with deeper right fields? I don't know. That's the beauty of the old pesky pole there.
Yeah, are his arms really that big? Like, they have that picture was circulating around Twitter, like him like
Swolhey?
standing there getting interviewed. He looks huge.
I did not see that. I'm interested in it.
I think you should just Google like Shohei swole arms.
So the expected batting average on that home run, Jake, was 160. He got it. The exit velo was 96.6. Launch angle was 36, which is higher than you want.
It's gone at Fenway and Yankee Stadium then.
Yeah, I wonder. You can do the overlay. I got to go to a different website, but yes, Fenway reared its head. They got a monster shot double from Dahlback, and then the pesky home run. But
I sent you guys Cole Irvin's baseball savant page if you want to go check it out. It's actually really fun.
I think that means the Rockies got to go get him. I think when we got into those nerdy Rockies analytics, I think you want your fastball that doesn't spin.
There it is. Look at that. Curve spin, fastball spin. 1 and 6.
Don't need it.
He doesn't need it, man.
He's swerving, baby.
And he throws strikes.
That's what it's all about. Mariners feeling good. Kelnick.
Yeah.
Call up
cool.
Gilbert, the other kid. And they win the final 3 games of that set. Good for them.
according to this, that Ohtani home run would have been out at a lot of stadiums.
That's what I was trying to say was weird about it. I mean, he got good wood. It was high. But for me, it was the fair element of it because it was turning. But, yeah, I mean, this makes it look like it was gone almost anywhere.
I haven't found a stadium that it would not have been a home run at.
How far did they say it went?
372 feet.
Yeah, that's...
Really?
Did you see his home run over the monster? The dude's a freak.
Yeah. He's a
I
freak.
thought that was going to be a flare to short, and it's over the monster.
I don't understand his swing. I've said that many of times. Yeah, that Ohtani home run, it looked like a pesky pull shot, but according to Baseball Savant, I literally just overlaid every single stadium, and it's out at any stadium. I mean, nothing is 380
379 down the line, yeah.
Nothing's doing that, yeah. That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I did, what was it, Baltimore? It's like a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, that Baltimore, that gets you a plaque.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, man. All right, you guys want to hear what happened in the Interleague?
I need it.
Here we go.
Good job, A's, Twins, you're dying.
Yeah, not worth talking about the Twins there. Interleague play, the Mets and the Rays. The Rays swept the Mets. How about that? Glass now had a really good game. 8 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 10 Ks. The Mets got a good start from Peterson, a bad start from Stroman, and then Lou Casey in the middle game. They tried to give him an opener to ease into it. Did not work. He got slapped around pretty hard. The Rays batters had 16 extra base hits in the series. 16. Mets had 6. 5 of them were home runs, though. Conforto and McNeil both go on the IL with hamstring injuries, so that's no fun at all. The Cubs and the Tigers matched up for 3 games. The Cubs took 2 out of the 3. Hendricks and Arrieta both had good starts for the Cubs. Boyd and Skubal both go 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs for the Tigers. 5 Cubs played all 3 games. The 5 main guys. Those 5 had a slash line of a .333 batting average, a .347 on base percentage. Pretty good. Tigers starting pitchers, not good. Relievers, decent. The Phillies and the Blue Jays, they split the first 2 games. Then the Blue Jays beat the Phillies in the rubber match to take the series. The Phillies bullpen did really well in game 1. The Blue Jays bullpen did really well in game 2. In game 3, both bullpens sucked. BBD's infield goes 17 for 48. That's a 354 batting average with 5 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers. Chase Anderson had a horrible start in Game 3 for the Phillies. Segura and Girardi got into it in the dugout. Then Girardi said, "Don't ask me about it." Gurriel Jr. and Guerrero Jr., the G Juniors, combined for 11 hits, 6 runs, and 5 RBIs. And Vladdy had 3 home runs. He's very good. And that's all that happened. 3 interleague series this weekend.
Big series for BBD. Big series.
The Mets stay in first place, even though they got swept, mostly because they have not played that many games. So the loss column looks really good for them. Blue Jays, they're a game and a half behind the Red Sox in the East. And let's see, to the Cubbies, they stayed in 4th place and do nothing.
I want to talk about my AL East. I know I'm normally an NL West guy, but I'll try to talk some AL East a little bit. Sox keep rolling. They got the good energy. The bats are going. Most hits in April, most hits in May so far. Got that stat from Coach Ballgame. The Blue Jays, they're doing it. The Yankees, they've gotten hot. They've been one of the best teams in baseball over the last month. The Rays with a big sweep. They needed that. Their hitting was dead. It looks like some of their guys are coming back to life. And yeah, I think it's just funny. I mean, you look at the AL East right now and it's like, oh boy, if the Blue Jays keep doing this, we've talked about the NL East slog. This AL East might become a slog when these teams start playing each other a lot. Because the Yankees haven't even played the Red Sox yet. I know I did my dumb old guy impression before, yelling at the cloud. The Yankees and Red Sox haven't played a game yet. They got, 19 coming up? Jays, Rays, as the Jays, Vladito's looking like an MVP candidate. George Springer trying to come back for them. The Rays figuring it out. I mean, the AL East is going to be a bloodbath. I like all 4 of those teams a lot.
Red Sox in their last 30, 16 and 14. Yankees 17 and 13. Rays and Jays both 18 and 12. So yeah, last 30 days, those 4 teams have all been winning. I think they all have winning records in the last 20 as well, and in the last 10. How about that?
How about it?
The Phillies are hanging in there too. I'm excited about that. I saw Archie Bradley was in his rehab and in Lehigh Valley. He's with the Iron Pigs, so they get a little bit of bullpen help back there. BBD.
Okay.
Got to go to you here.
Okay.
You love Girardi,
I do.
obviously. You love the Phillies infield. I need to hear your take on the Gene Segura, Joe Girardi fiasco.
Look, we're handling this in-house.
No. We need it. We need the real take.
It's a team,
here.
Trevor.
Whose side are
It's
you
a team.
on?
Let them handle it.
Trevor, we aren't discussing it further publicly. You saw what you're going to see from that.
I don't know how I feel about the answer. I go back and forth about like keeping things in house like that. Like clearly there was something, and reporters are going to ask about it. Like Girardi knew they were going to ask about it. Everybody knew they were going to ask about it, and especially in a town like Philadelphia. Do you guys like the way he handled it?
Love it.
Do you wish you just did?
Love it. Really wish Boone would do this. Really wish Boone would.
Does he not?
No, Boone doesn't say a bad thing ever. Like BBD is.
I didn't watch much baseball this weekend. I was visiting college friends and stuff.
Played. Sex.
Was the Girardi comments in a post-game thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So Segura made a weird play, and then he's made a couple weird plays, and
It was a weird week.
Joe got on him in the dugout right away. I don't think it was anything crazy. And then Segura wanted to yell back because he's in the heat of the moment. He's got to be held back. And then they ask him about it, and Joe says, "That's in-house. I'm not going to talk about it." Maybe it's because I listened and watched Girardi for 10 years. Maybe it's because Boone hasn't yelled at a player and the Yankees have been making brain-dead plays all season, and then he has their back. I would much rather the Girardi route if I was a player on the team. I was a guy, I asked our coach to yell at us more. I was like, you don't discipline us. We play bad and you just don't care at all. Like, can you yell at us? And then he asked the team, he's like, do you guys want me to get on you when you're bad? And every single player raised their hand and said, yes, we'd like to be held accountable. So I love it. I like that Girardi made it like somewhat public that, hey, we don't stand for that. You cannot just be botching routine plays. And then I like that he wouldn't take it outside the clubhouse and said, no, like, yeah, I'm going to yell at my guys if I think they need to be yelled at, but I am not going to share that information with you. I love it. This is exactly how I think like managing and accountability should be played out. I don't mind that the Mets made up a fabricated story to keep theirs in-house. It's a different way to go about it, but man, I mean, Judge botched a play and it cost the game, and Boone's quote afterwards was really good play by Judgy to stay with it, because after botching the ball, he ran to the warning track and picked it up and threw it in. And I mean, I was as infuriated as I've been. Like, I love it.
I think there's a difference. You know, if you're a manager and you see a guy make a physical error, you don't need to yell at the guy. They're all trying. But I think that's the difference here. I think Segura, I mean, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, he did have a bunch of physical errors in this series, and there has to be some sort of like lackadaisicalness about the way he's approaching the game, because he's a guy that deserves respect. He's been around the game for a long time. So there must be some sort of, he's not going out for early work. He's dogging. We saw him throw the glove at the ball. Because if I'm a player and I make an error, and it's just like, look, I just messed up, it's going to happen, and my manager blows me up, I'm going to be pissed at my manager. But if I'm a player and I've been fucking around and not taking things seriously, then I'm okay with my manager blowing me up. So I think that, I don't think Girardi's a guy that's just going to blow you up for making a physical error. I think it probably had something to do with Gene dogging it at some point, whether it's pregame or during the game.
Well, and Trev, you're starting to show your colors, man. You said, you want to hear about this. That's because you're a media man now. Trevor Plouffe was in that dugout. He said, nah, we're handling this as a team. It's not a big deal. Coach yelled at Gene.
No, I really don't have an opinion either way on this, to be honest with you. I'm just curious what you guys thought.
No, man, we don't know, and that's probably a good thing. Like you're saying, it's, Segura, maybe it was throwing the glove, or maybe after he threw the glove, he said, come on, Skip, don't worry about it. And then he makes another one, and Skip says, hey, Gene, I'm worried about it. So, no, man, that's the dream for your team. You either want full exposure, you want the fight in the dugout, and you want the JOMBOY breakdown reading lips, or you say, okay, yeah, there's a little bit of a beef, there's a raccoon, and we're gonna figure it out. Don't worry about us.
I like that. Ooh, someone's airdropping me something. I like that Segura fought back a little bit. I like that the media member kept pressing Joe, and I like that Joe held strong. Like I have no one doing anything wrong in this situation. I think you're a guy asking the manager after the game, yeah, ask, and then do a follow-up, then do another follow-up, because maybe you're going to get some info. That's your job. I like Joe holding strong and saying, nope, I'm not talking about it. And then I like it all.
Someone in the chat did say that, and I remember reading this now, that Segura didn't go to the mound when there was a visit. Every other infielder went to the mound, and he didn't.
What does that mean? I mean, I have no idea. Is that something? Is he dodging Joe?
When.
What do you think, Trev? Is that weird? If you saw that,
yeah, it is weird. It kind of depends on when it's happening. Like if it's just like in a regular game and there hasn't been any errors or anything like that, and like maybe he's just out there stretching or thinking or something, it could be okay. But I think clearly this was him being like, I don't. There's one word that's in my mind. I'm trying to find another word. The B hurt, B-U-T-T, hurt.
What hurt?
Yeah.
Stubborn.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, it was a weird situation, man. Because once you do blow a guy up in the dugout, like it's not in.
It didn't look like he really blew him up that much either. It looked like he just said like.
Well, Segura got mad for something.
Yeah, but we don't have a shot of Joe, so who knows?
Yeah.
But Segura can get mad.
Those
That's part
words,
of it.
Those words.
I mean, in Segura's mind, he made a few mistakes, but he's also like statistically having like one of his best seasons right now. It's
tough for me.
Very good start.
Tough for me to acknowledge that because I don't know.
That's not me tricking you. Like it's like statistically one of his either his first or second best season if you look at the Baseball Reference.
I should have
Keeping
just
me
said
afloat.
butthurt. I'm sorry. I don't know why I tried to dance around the word
Butthurt's a
butthurt.
good word.
You never know.
No, butthurt. All of us have been butthurt.
I didn't know that word until I moved to Northern California. I think it's gotten more mainstream now.
I think it picked up. I think it came through probably.
I'm a little
around that
scared
time,
of
too.
a lot of words. I think that word could get you in trouble nowadays. I don't know.
I think so.
It's hella butthurt.
I don't know.
I think it's like, you fall on your butt and get hurt, and then you walk around a little mopey, like, oh, can't believe I just fell and hurt my butt.
That's a good butthurt voice,
Right?
there.
Live butthurt.
I like that you're talking about it. A fall
Yeah.
comes from spanking. You get in trouble, you get spanked, and then your butt hurt.
That's your opinion. I grew up with a different butthurt.
No, that's where it comes
makes
from.
sense.
That's the origin of the word.
Yeah.
It's the etymology of it.
Where I grew up, it was if you fell on your butt and it hurt.
Let's go to the awards. Anything else on the American League, Interleague, standings, team stuff at all? I think we got it.
Teams that we miss.
Padres fans in the chat upset we didn't talk about them, but Padres fans and Mets fans are the most upset fan bases ever.
Swept
So
the Cardinals. We were stoked for you. Don't ruin it.
we did talk about them anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We did.
All right, let's go on to the individual performances and awards. This is brought to you by Magic Spoon Cereal. Growing up, cereal is one of the best parts of being a kid. I had to give it up because I realized it was full of sugar and junk that you shouldn't really eat, but Magic Spoon has brought me back into the cereal game big time. It's got 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. We've got exciting news. Magic Spoon has released a super delicious new flavor birthday cake. Birthday cake Magic Spoon will be available in a special 5-pack for a limited time only, so get it while you can, or you can build your own box around the flavors. I like, there's cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cinnamon. I got to try cinnamon still. Still haven't tried it. Go to magicspoon.com/baseball to grab the new limited edition birthday cake or a custom bundle of cereal. Try it today. And be sure to use our promo code baseball at checkout to save $5 off your order. Magicspoon.com/baseball. Use code baseball. You save $5.
Know who bought some Magic Spoon recently?
Who's that?
Old friend Magic Sam.
Oh, really? Do
Yeah.
you like it?
He's also lost a ton of weight. Yeah, we walked through it. He's excited.
I think I'm about to buy some more because I like it. I love cereal. Standout performances.
Standout performance.
Jake, you get to go first.
Hoo. Told you it's a big AL East show for me today. Normally an NL West guy. I'm going with Aaron Judge. 6'7", 282. Hunk of man. Had a 2-homer day the other day. Not a big deal, and that's fine. Leading the American League in home runs. Trevor Plouffe, a guy that we had on Slump Watch a couple weeks back. He's striking out. Ba-ba-do, ba-da-da-da. Guess what he's doing on the year? 298 batting average. For 6'7" guy, that's pretty good. 399 on base. We're going over 400 soon. A 1.009 OPS. The Judge, man, he was off to, I'll say an inauspicious, I don't think that's a word, start, where he was doing his thing. He was around, the stats were kind of a tier below what Aaron Judge's career stats have been. And lately, he's just been going straight hamburglar, depending how you want to cut him up. In his past 6 games, 5 of them are multi-hit. That's good. He's got 4 homers in the last 3 games, 3 straight games with a homer. And if you want to stretch it out, my guy's been going for a little bit now. The last 17 games, 356, 433 on base, a 1.229 OPS. The big fella is ranking. He's reminding people, as long as he's healthy and in the lineup, he can bang with the best of them in this sport. And it's been good to see, man. Because, weird year last year and everything else going on. And, the Yankees, they had some COVID/vaccine stuff. And then he was kind of limping around. And you're like, what's going on? Judgy looks back, and when he's right, man, it's, we talked about how the ball comes off Ohtani's bat differently and all that stuff. Judgy, he makes the sport look different because you don't see a lot of guys his size doing it. So Big Aaron Judge.
Very nice. B-A-J. Trev, who's your standout?
Oh, man. Look, I love watching this guy pitch, and I can't deny it any longer. I'm going with Trevor Bauer. Up against the Marlins, 7 innings pitched, 10 Ks, 2 hits. And what I like about watching him pitch is he makes dudes take absolutely silly swings. And I posed this question to a group of pitchers in the show. I said, does Bauer have the best feel for his pitches in the game? And the reason I say that is that he approaches his pitching like with an engineering type mentality, like he's broken them all down. He's studied them, every single one, and he's just learned what his pitches do, what he can make them do. And you can tell that he has the confidence to move them around the zone, speed them up, slow them down, because his sequencing right now is incredible. Like he can get guys that front door, that front hip two-seamer that he's throwing to lefties right now. It's so hard to throw that pitch. That's why you don't see a lot of guys throw it. And he's mastered it, and he's able to throw his secondary pitches off that fastball so well. You see this guy just absolutely dominate hitters. And people were talking last year, oh, it's a Mickey Mouse Cy Young. You know, he only started 11 games in it. Well, he started 9 again this year, so that's 20 starts. And he's been arguably even better this year in some regards. He was that good last year that he won the Cy Young. You know, he's leading the league in strikeouts and innings pitched. What else do you need the guy to do? He's been one of the best pitchers in the big leagues. At some points he's been absolutely unhittable, and against the Marlins this weekend, that was the case. He was unhittable.
He led the league last year in homers, not per 9. And he's right now averaging less than that. I did a breakdown on some of the ejections in that game, Trev, and I left in Bauer using that front hip two-seamer to a lefty because it's just so nasty, and he threw the slider beforehand, like back foot slider, to make that lefty feel uncomfortable on the inside, and then made use of that uncomfortableness by throwing the front hip two-seamer. And the combo there, back him up and then bust him in, it's like fair. Not fair. The two-seamer right now is incredible. So,
Trev, it is easy for us to sit on our couch and say, why don't more guys throw that? But correct me if I'm wrong. But, hey, you leave that out a little bit, that's a two-seamer over the middle. Guys hunting fastballs, that's a problem. And if you're a little too far in, you're hitting a batter and you're a wild pitcher, and it's a bad time. So that's why more guys don't do it. And, yeah, he loves his stuff. He sets them up. He feels so comfy. I think the only guy that maybe gives him a battle would be Bieber. But Bieber's more of a everything's just on the same plane, so you'll see guys take fastball over the dick, and you're like, what? It's like, well, they were sitting nasty curve.
Yeah, I don't see a pitcher in the big leagues getting more swings on pitches that go like 50 feet. He gets guys to swing at pitches that aren't even freaking close. And, you know, when you're on the mound, and like obviously you haven't pitched in a long time, but I remember this. When you're trying to go inside front hip on a lefty, the visual is just so hard. How can you pick up that point and say, I need to start it literally hitting the guy and run it back? It's a weird mental thing to do, but he, like I said, he's just deconstructed his pitches so well, and he just understands them probably better than anybody in the big leagues right now, that he's able to do that. And for me, like I said before, and Jim, you alluded to it too, it's just the sequencing of pitching, setting guys up to throw the next pitch, and guys know it's coming too. They know that he's going to set them up because he wants to K them, and it's just, I mean, he had guys slamming their bat at bat after at bat after at bat, and that he loves that shit.
He had a 54 whiff percentage on his slider. And I remember there was one like Garrett Cooper swung at like a 50-foot bouncer, like you're saying. So,
yeah, people love to hate the guy, and like, look, we understand maybe he gives them a reason to sometimes, especially if you're not a fan of the Dodgers. But if you just objectively look at him pitch, it's incredible to watch.
Well earned. My standout is Jared Kelenic. Made his debut this weekend. He went 0 for 4 in his first game. A lot of nerves, a lot of jitters. Next game, the nerves are gone. He goes 3 for 4. He actually struck out in his first at-bat, so now he's 0 for 5, 2 strikeouts. He's saying, this isn't what I want to do. Next at-bat, homers. Third at-bat in this game 2, doubles. Fourth at-bat in game 2, doubles. Final line in his second ever game is 3 for 4 with a homer and 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. It's a guy with a lot of hype, a lot of talk about him, and I think the next couple games weren't great, so we're just doing this one game standout performance. Good job by him, Jared Kelenic.
It's cool seeing the excitement, man. Cool seeing the baseball world excited for him, for a Mariners prospect. That's fun.
Yeah, and the Mariners win the series, so they're just having fun. They're having a good time.
Trev's Mariners.
Another family in the stands. The reactions are great. Gotta love all that.
All right. Trump Watch. Trevor's favorite segment. Trevor's favorite segment. He loves this.
He submits so many players to the Slump Watch that we're like, Trev, chill out.
BBD,
We need fewer.
Who are our options to be added?
Yeah, so a reminder for everybody, we were still watching Eduardo Escobar, Mike Trout, Joey Gallo, and Paul DeYoung. Potential ads. My guy, JT Realmuto, he just came off COVID stuff. He goes 0 for 7 since coming back. Nick Madrigal is in an 0 for 14 slide, 2 Ks, and no walks in that period. Nate Lowe, look at his numbers on the year. He's having a good year. Not lately. 1 for 14, 3 walks, and a sac fly in there, so that's trying his best. Seth Brown, similar boat, having a good year. Not lately. 1 for 9, 3 walks, though. Jesse Winker, 2 for 16 this weekend. It's a 125 average. Got a walk in there. And I hesitate to even put him as an option because he just got off. But Lindor does go 1 for 12 on the weekend. The one's a homer, but should be mentioned. A 1 for 12 weekend.
Okay, so Real Muto, I don't care about. 0 for 7, 2 games after coming out of the COVID.
He just got back.
Yeah, so I mean that's
0 for big names.
I'm not worried about that at all. I think he'll be fine. He had a pretty good game against the series against the Braves, and Nats, then COVID. So Real Muto, I take him.
We'll save him.
Yeah, he's not getting added.
Jimmy's Madrigal, though, I think he is getting added.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, no walks. This is a guy who needs to hit. Otherwise, he doesn't bring anything else to the table.
And we have spots to fill.
And it was, 4 games for him. So it was 1 for 14 in the 4 games with no walks. So
They took him 4th overall.
Supposed to be an 80 contact
Madrigal?
tool kind of guy.
Holy. Did Tony La Russa draft him, or what's going on with that? He's 5'8", 175 with his only skill being contact, and we're drafting 4th overall.
He used to be taller.
Shrunk.
yeah, he's an interesting player. I don't know if I ever made the video, but I did a super deep dive on him at one point because
I think he got an award on this show.
Yeah, I feel bad, but he's got to hit like 330. Otherwise, he's not worthwhile.
And even then, if he hits 330 and he doesn't slug, he's yet to hit a homer in the show.
No, and all of his doubles are singles that he turns into doubles. Like I went through it at one point. He had like maybe one like over the outfielder's head.
Drove it.
So yeah, either he's got to develop some power, and he's 24, or he's going to be a bench player, util infielder.
I think we're going to see him slapping it around, hitting in the 300s for the next decade or so.
Yeah, you said that about Ronald Torreyes too, though.
I didn't say that about Ronald Torreyes.
Were they expecting a Jose Altuve type? Maybe that's kind of the comp they wanted, or because defensively, I'm looking. I don't think he's a banger defensively either. So
No, I mean he's supposed to have a special hit tool. I mean
doesn't steal
the
bases
guys. I think there's like a
either.
joke on the White Sox that they call him Mr. 3000 because they think he's going to get 3,000.
He
He
said
said
that.
it,
He
yeah.
said he wants to get 3,000 hits. Yeah, that's my.
I don't mean to be mean to this guy, but I didn't know.
Jimmy. Jimmy likes it.
I'm
I'm
good
in
with
on
him
him.
being a major leaguer, but 4th overall pick. I need to go back to that draft. I'm going right now. 2008.
He just setting the bar. It's just a hard thing for him to do because if he's not getting, 4 hits on every 3 games, He's not bringing anything to the table.
Oh my God, Jared Kelenic was picked 2 spots after him.
Minor league.
And people are saying he's Grady Sizemore reincarnated.
Madrigal's minor league numbers that might interest you. 51 walks, 21 strikeouts. Over a lot of at-bats. He doesn't strike out.
He's the 100th percentile in whiff percentage and K percentage.
But if he doesn't get hits,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys.
I am rooting for him, I guess, to develop some power because he needs to. He's not going to be a 10-year starter if he doesn't.
He's got to be able to hit the ball over the
doubles.
outfielder's head. You got to.
There's a lot of really good players that I'm looking at that have already debuted from that draft. So
his savant like numbers and stuff, it's like comfortably above average sprint speed and defense stuff, but not like special. It's like hit tool is the thing.
Let's put Lindor right back on there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, because he came off with one good series, right?
Basically.
Yeah.
So the people that were on that are coming off, Joey Gallo's coming off. He went 4 for 13 with a homer. So he's off slump watch. Good job by him.
Good job, Joey.
Paul DeYoung is coming off because he went to the IL. Did not play. So
one way to do it.
Eduardo Escobar, he went 4 for 12 with 2 home runs, and he pitched.
8 RBIs. He had a 7 RBI game.
No, he
Freight
didn't pitch.
Train. David
Freight
Peralta
pitch.
pitched.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eddie Escobar, he flame to shame to flame guy.
You know who's
All he
staying
does.
on, Trev?
Who?
Mike Trout is staying on.
I dig that.
Is in his last 6 games, he's 1 for 19. We're coming up against maybe his worst 10-game stretch of his career.
What's his overall stat line right now?
It's still amazing. He's Mike Trout. 333, 462, 1 OPS. Yeah.
But I think he was still over 400 like a week ago. It's coming down.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. But no, he'll stay on slump watch.
Yeah.
So Lindor's there. You guys want to add Winker? He's been having a great season, and that's a bad weekend for him.
I'm interested. Yeah, we've been on the Winker train.
Is Madrigal not going just because
he's going for sure because he needs to hit. He can't go
He's
over
out
14.
there to hit.
We're watching. If he doesn't come off, it's because he can't play.
Mike Trout's last 6, 1 for 19. I'm telling you, this sport gets everyone.
Yeah, you just town criered me.
This sport gets everyone. Yeah, I wanted people to hear it.
Nate Lau?
I think he's a low.
Ooh, someone called him Mike Tadpole.
Come on. Come on.
Ouch.
Just the past 2 weeks.
I don't think tadpoles grow into trouts, but I think they grow into frog.
Here we go.
We care about Nate Lau?
He kind of is having a nice year.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Everything dropped. His
Good
batting
lefty
average
swing.
dropped 20% from these 4 games. 289 to 269.
Put him on there.
Yeah, let's put him on. Okay, so that's our list. I don't care about Seth Brown.
Sorry, Seth Brown. Seth
catcher,
Brown.
you're not
Sorry,
supposed to be
A's.
good.
Sorry, A's fans. Seth Brown had been doing a lot of nice things for you guys,
Yeah, but it's a catcher. They're allowed to slump.
but he just got one upped.
Madrigal, Winker, Trout, Lindor, Lowe. That's our slump watch.
I like it. Seth Brown's not a catcher.
BBD said that. He tricked me.
Sorry.
Who's the catcher?
Cried and Trick. Sean Murphy.
Which guy? Oh, well, I thought it was Sean.
Yeah.
Sean, normal last name?
Where's Seth Brown play?
He's an outfielder.
Next up. Oh, what happened here?
Bump it.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
All right, slump watch is over, and in Fuego is here. And these are some guys, if you are doing daily fantasy sports, if you're streaming guys, here are some hitters that you should be picking up. And when you do daily fantasy, you should be using DraftKings. And when you download the app, you should use promo code JOMBOY when you do it. They also have a sports book, and they have a very interesting promotion going on right now. They're giving you a chance to lower the over-under on a featured NBA playoff game. All players who place a bet on the featured basketball game will have a hand in lowering the over-under on the game. For every 1,500 players who bet the over on the select game, the over-under will drop by 1 point. That's what they're doing. So download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY when you sign up to hammer the over. For every 1,500 people that bet the over in the featured game, the line will decrease by 1 point. Yes, this is your chance to improve the odds of the over hitting, so tell your friends and family this is a team effort. Hammer the over and improve your odds of doubling your money. That's promo code JOMBOY for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or PA only. Restrictions apply. Maximum $25 wager, one per customer. Offer ends May 23rd, 2021. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Jake, can you let us know who's been on fire lately?
Sure can, lads. Big Aaron Judge made the list. Chopped through some of those stats before you guys heard about him, but 4-homer series and what he's been doing for coming up on a month now, not too bad. Jonathan Daza on my Colorado Rockies. Get hot, kid. A little 10 for 17. That's a good feeling, Trev. I know you feel that one.
Yanni Daza?
Oh, Yanni Daza. Nolan Arenado. Oh, how about him on the Cardinals? 6 for 12, 3 homers. How about his cousin, Josh Fuentes, also on the list? The Lindas want you to open the door. 9 for 18, homer, couple doubles. How's 10 ribeye steaks, Billy Ripken? Reese Hoskins, Phillies infield. Prettiest swing, according to Trevor Plouffe. A little 5 for 10, couple extra bags. Yan Gomes, he had a big day at the office. I think he had a 5 for 6, so we're parlaying that into Fuego. Take that and rewind it back. Adam Frazier putting it together for those Pirates. I think him and Brian Reynolds. Again, the Pirates guys, you want to be doing it, I think, are doing it. A little 8 for 18, trips, dubs. And then there's another guy who's been really hot who's about to get my award, so I don't know if I should give it away or not.
Pocket it.
I'll pocket it.
It's being pocketed.
I'll pocket it.
Those are your hottest hitters.
The guy you all want to hear about.
Can I say something?
Say it all.
Josh Fuentes, Nolan's cousin. I saw like a little thing that he was doing for the Rockies. He's hot. Like a hot boy. Like kind of a cool like attitude. And so I know that the Mansplain girls got mad at me that I said Nolan like wasn't hot. Turns out his cousin's hotter. So I need to have a talk with them. And Josh Fuentes might be moving up that list, that we will have another one coming out mid-season.
That's tough, man.
Big Josh Fuentes guy.
I mean, there's a side-by-side picture of them. And, I mean, they look like pretty similar. And I know you were just on a firm, like, Nolan not hot thing.
The attitude. Okay. As I know Nolan's kind of like, from what I've heard, I don't know Nolan personally. I've heard he's kind of squarish.
He's wired.
And Fuentes is a little bit more chill, cool guy, better vibes for me. I'm a vibe guy.
Big time vibe guy.
There you go.
Awards.
Yay.
Yanni Daza had like the best week ever.
Yanni
It goes
Daza.
past this series. 600 batting average in the last 7 games.
10 for 17.
Hey, smash that like button. 1,000 people, 1,100
Wow.
people watching.
Wow.
186 likes. Smash that thing
me,
for
daddy.
us. Please.
Jake, what's the award that you pocketed?
I'm giving out the Jeff Goldblum's Glasses Award. Prestige. It's going to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Man. Homers in 3 straight games. Again, he was listed on Fuego before I picked him for the award. 5 for 11, 3 homers. There's an eye test that comes in sports, and we all do it. It's kind of the beauty of sports. Like, we could chop up these stats all day and say, yeah, but I kind of like that guy, or I kind of like his swing on this, or, you know, he's good against this. Vladdy, Jimmy brought a picture of Jeff Goldblum's glasses. It's not those ones, but it's good. Jeff Goldblum's so hot right now. Vlad Guerrero Jr., he's currently got 11 homers. That's 1 behind the AL lead. How about this? 319, a 440 on base, a 1.049 OPS. Okay, now Jimmy's looking at nude pictures of Jeff Goldblum on the beach. And now I'm looking at naked pictures of Jeff Goldblum. Do they have sex? Yeah. It looks like we're now watching Jeff Goldblum have sex on the beach. So Vlad makes me feel like I'm having sex on the beach. That's not a very big wiener. I did my preseason bet on Vlad not hitting the over on 28.5 homers. That will be shattered pretty soon. And he looks awesome. He's hitting it out every direction. We're looking at a top 5 MVP Vladdy this year.
You really took the under on Vladdy?
Yeah, man, because I think what makes him special is his contact tool. And he lost all the weight. So I thought Vladdy was going to slap it around and hit 330 this year and probably win an AL batting title right next to Nick Madrigal. But instead, Vladdy might just go out and grab himself some other hardware because the power swing looks beautiful right now. And I said this when I made the bet, so you guys can check it. Man, part of the reason I was fine taking the under was that if he went over, that means Vladito was here, and boy is he here. He looks awesome. So, Vladdy Jr.
The Jeff
Shout out,
Goldblum
Vladdy.
Glasses Award. How did that tie in again?
So, couple things. I
know.
got thrown away by the nudity. I hadn't seen those before. That was nice.
You never seen those?
No, I've never seen those before.
I hadn't
Oh.
seen those either.
Oh,
That was
those are
special.
famous.
You guys can
Goldblum
look that
and
up.
they just went naked, had sex on the beach, knowing the paparazzi was there because he didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then he's walking away just still boned up.
Yeah, that post-sex bone. I was referencing the Jurassic Park where the guy takes off his glasses. That wasn't Jeff Goldblum, but I'm glad I got to see Jeff Goldblum naked. So it's win-win-win-win.
Good stuff all around.
Oh, that's the other guy.
Yeah,
the main
when he
guy.
first sees it, he's like, oh.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going for. I guess I'm doing Jeff Goldblum when he sees the giant poop for the first time, but I just got to see him naked. So,
Trev, what's your award?
What's going on? I love you, Jake. Mine is the Hero We Need award, and yes, we have not talked about the Castellanos video yet. Kyle, I think from JOMBOY Media Social, put a great clip
Oh,
together.
you're Robo, Trev.
Robo Trev. I told you got to do the midway plug unplug. You want to give your award, Jim? We'll circle back on Trev.
Yeah, sure. My award is the Joan Jett Award.
Yeah.
The Joan Jett Award. Want to know who it goes to?
I love Joan Jett.
You do? What's your favorite Joan Jett song?
Where we go, since I'm singing. I don't think that's not Joan Jett. No, I don't know. Who's it going to?
It goes to Manny Machado.
Okay.
Joan Jett. I don't give a damn about my reputation.
Ooh.
Living in the past is the new generation. Yeah, Machado. The play yesterday on Sunday Night Baseball. Obviously, his reputation makes everyone think it's dirty. I saw that play, didn't blink an eye. I think it's a pretty normal baseball play. Tries to avoid the tag, slide under the tag, ends up taking out his feet. Coincidental, accidental. But I guess you guys told me people were hot and bothered about this. I didn't know that. And then Trev had the same award that I had. I tried to steal it from him unbeknownst to me. I had to pivot last second. I figured we'd talk about Machado. I didn't realize people were on the street saying it was dirty. I watched it in live time. I didn't think it was anything close to a dirty play. It was interesting. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything on this? I really don't have anything on it. I just knew that people wanted to hear us talk about it. And Trev and I had the same award.
Robo Trev?
Trev, want to give it a shot?
Am I back? Yeah. Am I back?
I think you're back.
Yeah.
That pissed me off. I'm sorry I threw my equipment. I got really upset right there. I'm wearing these headphones to try to figure it out.
I don't know why you didn't do the unplug, replug halfway through still.
Because it's the mic. It's nothing to do with the headphones.
What, I can only record for an hour on this thing? Like, what kind of mic do I got
It's
here?
not the mic, it's the whole setup. It's the whole rigamarig.
I just got to unplug. Okay. Wednesday or tomorrow, whenever we record.
Yeah.
Unplug, replay.
So, Trev, you're a baseball player. You played. I saw that play and thought it was pretty benign. What are your thoughts on that Machado slide play?
I thought that it was totally fine. And if it wasn't Manny Machado, there wouldn't be much uproar about it. And, it's just one of those things. Look, you're taught to not get tagged out and allow a double play. And there are different ways to go about it. Some guys retreat and go back to the bag and make him throw to first. But when you do that, you open yourself up to the double play because you throw to first, then you get in a rundown, you're probably going to be out. Other people just drop down suddenly, but that's not easy to do when you're running the bases. I mean, you don't practice this type of stuff. It's just kind of like an instinct thing. I thought he was trying to avoid the tag, and Edman, I think it was Edman at second base, he got hit, made it kind of like look worse than it was. So a lot of people were freaking going crazy about it, and I just don't agree with it. I think that he was just playing baseball.
Same. Well, he's got that bad reputation.
It's the reputation, and a young Manny Machado got himself into a lot of junk. I mean, I remember we used to go into Orioles series, and Jimmer would tap me and be like, kind of like, let's see what Manny's gonna do this time.
He was
a punk. He was a kid.
As a punk gets from like 19 to 21 years old of playing baseball.
And that's what if you make the show at 19, 20, that's the formula makes sense. But yeah, and I guess that's why there's some feedback. I looked at a couple articles on this, and one of them is titled how could anyone be mad about this? So if you get that side of the spectrum. And then another article that seemed to be more spaced out on it. They linked the JOMBOY Media video clip in the article, so I like that.
Great job, Kyle.
And then, they said the other side of this is, a young Manny Machado was once mad that Josh Donaldson tagged him too hard. So when you do put all that in the bucket,
then he threw his bat at him.
I see where.
Yes, he did.
When you do put all of that in the pot, you say you kind of point the finger back. But no, I think any of the baseball minds that got involved said that was not a dirty play. He was trying to evolve it. Tough night for the Cards infielders last night. Moroff got popped by Carlson. He caught him with the left hook. Machado came in low on Tommy Edman. He's gonna be a sock, huh? But yeah, I'm fine with it.
Did you talk about?
What
we saved it.
Yeah,
the
what's
grand
your
finale.
award? Yeah, your award, Trev.
I think everyone already saw it, but I want to hear you guys, your opinion on it. I do have a question at the end, but yeah, it was the Castellanos, the Hero We Need award. We all know that he got suspended earlier in the year for flexing over a pitcher at home plate, which I think everybody's in agreement on. That was just absolutely ridiculous. So, he's not exactly happy with the face of that other side, Rob Manfred, our commissioner. Well, not our commissioner, baseball's commissioner. I think, Jimmy, are you our commissioner?
I think we've all got commissioner shirts out there. BBD, maybe.
I don't want to be
he
commissioner.
Can take the flag for us.
If you didn't see it, Castellanos hits a home run, and when he comes back around the plate, fist bumps a guy in the front row that's wearing a Reds jersey. After the game, they're interviewing him, and the broadcast asked Castellanos, what was that fist bump about? That's cool. We want to hear the story. And instead of telling the story, he says, can I have the guy tell the story? He brings the fan over, puts the headset on him, and the guy goes on to tell the story.
I have it. You want me to play it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go.
He should imagine. So I told Nick when he got up there that he should imagine that Rob Manfred's face was on the baseball. And the next pitch, he lit it up over the fence, baby. All righty.
And the whole time this is going on,
end it right there.
Castellanos is just standing there with his arms folded, smiling. He gives the shrug. I mean, can you name? There's no other sport where the players openly go at Rob Manfred, or their commissioner, excuse me. Like, the basketball players seem to like Silver. I think NFL players are kind of scared of Roger Goodell. They're not going to say that out in the open like this. Baseball players constantly are going after our commissioner. And this is going to be funny. I'm curious to see how Manfred is going to handle the situation, because Castellanos didn't do anything.
Can't do a thing.
He didn't say a word.
Manfred's best would be to just let this slide.
Oh, I think
Yeah, but
Get petty.
we agree with that. But is Manfred actually going to?
Manfred always does his best.
get petty. Get petty. Suspend them 2 games. COVID protocol. You can't share a microphone with a fan.
Oh man,
It's a great move by Castellanos.
COVID protocol. That's good. I bet you they do something like that.
I was going to give this the roundabout award because it's just like Castellanos, like he probably like tell those guys what you said to me. Like he it's not like Castellanos was blindsided by this dude saying that. Like he very much knew.
Pretty happy to give him the mic.
Yeah.
The facial expression alone, I think Rob Manfred is going to fine him for. Like he was so happy with himself that this was going on. Like, and he should have been because it was an amazing moment. Like that should live on forever. That clip right there. That's how freaking good it is.
Like that.
He's so bad, man.
It's pretty funny.
Manfred just puts his foot in his mouth. I mean, I think once he called the World Series trophy a scrap of metal, he lost every single player's trust or faith. Also, I mean, you know, you have the PA going clubhouse to clubhouse just fucking making Manfred out to be 10 times worse than he actually is because they hate each other so much. So you got no friends.
It's going to be an interesting CBA.
It's going to be an awful CBA.
Can't
I'll tell you
wait to
that.
be a labor pod again.
We're a labor pod on
labor
the midweek app.
Maybe.
There's a topic we got to discuss. Did we do best friend of the week?
Did not.
In a way, when we touched on him during in Fuego, it's Reese Hoskins.
Ooh, touch and
Oh
Reese.
yeah,
sir.
5 for 10, 2 doubles, 3 ribbies.
Now, have we added Trevor Story to the friends sheet?
I don't know if he's been added to that, but he is a candidate now.
Yeah. You haven't listened, go check out our Trevor Story interview. All right, let's spin the wheel for elevator talk. If you find yourself in an elevator with someone that's wearing this hat, here's some instant fodder. We talked about them. No, you want to do them?
I'm just having a big AL East pod.
Well, we're going to do the first team, so I don't want to do that team. We're going to do the Blue Jays.
Yes.
The Blue Jays, the second place Blue Jays, I think they're a game and a half behind the Red Sox.
Get my peaches down in Georgia.
Oh my gosh. Another clip that'll live on in infamy. Bo Bichette can sing Bieber, baby.
Yeah, that was weird.
Let's see.
Vladdy's doing amazing. You can talk about that. Dude, I saw a tweet or a Reddit post. It was like every single Tampa Bay or every single Toronto Blue Jay pitcher that started the season with them has either been on the IL or been released besides 3 pitchers.
Say that again?
Only 3 pitchers that started the season with the Blue Jays have not been on the IL or released.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, their IL list right now, just looking at Baseball Reference, Dolis, Milwan, Barucki, Phelpsy, Merriweather.
Oh, you know what you
Pearson's
said?
been
You know what you
hurt.
said? Tell them about the Grichuk stuff you said. You sent to us.
I can't. I don't know if I can. We might have said too much.
He's about to have a big week.
I think they're seeing a bunch of lefties this week, and Grichuk crushes lefties, and he's been having a good year anyway. So, I mean, watch out for Vlad, watch out for Simeon, watch out for Bo, watch out for Teoscar.
I love
Say
Teoscar,
Robbie Ray.
too.
How
He
about
does
them
get
tight
mentioned
pants?
enough.
You can say that in the elevator.
Tight pants.
You can say Ryu has just shut everybody up because he's just a good pitcher.
He's good, man.
Got to come to grips with it, guys.
And he got hurt, and he came back. He's part of that IL crew. Chicken strips. Ross
He's got
Stripling's a friend.
Yeah, I went on his podcast.
How about this for some symmetry? Career ERA for Ryu, 2.95. Season ERA for Ryu, 2.95. Gotta love that. Math
Some
Bob.
symmetry there.
Who do they have coming up?
They have Boston. That's going to be a fun series. And then Tampa. Okay, Toronto.
And
we're
then
gonna
the
find out.
Yankees.
Yankees.
We're gonna
Wow,
find
they're
out.
going through it. Jake sucks.
Oh, Ryu with a great pick on Baseball Reference.